The Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura, California, presents a homily by Outreach Coordinator at the Church of the Larger Fellowship, Tanner Linden, titled Connect, Deepen, Act, recorded on Sunday morning, July 5th, 2020.
Good morning, and welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura, a deeply connected and endlessly learning community of resilience, hope, and strength. I'm Celia Ortenberg, a worship associate here. It's so good to be with all of you again. Our minister, Reverend Dana Warsnop, is out of the pulpit today, and worship associate Sue Brinkmeyer will be joining me to facilitate the service. We are so happy to have Tanner Linden joining us today for our service. He grew up in this church and spoke here just a little while ago. I think it was just over a month. Let me see. When he spoke before, he was the outreach coordinator for the Church of the Larger Fellowship, the largest UU church in the world. He's recently added a new position as marketing manager for the Foothills Unitarian Church of Colorado. Still, he takes Sundays to guest preach, and I'm so glad that he's accepted the invitation to be with us today. We're no longer reading announcements, but if you come to the service a little bit early, you'll see many announcements rotating around the screen, and you'll also have a chance to hear our music director, Carolyn Bierke, with her prelude. I remind you to mute your microphones and stay muted except when you're in a breakout room. We also ask that you add your first name and initial and your pronouns if you can. Our full technical crew is shown on this slide. Taking key roles today are Director Brian Fortune, Assistant Director Kitty Merrill, and Magician Kent Brinkmeyer. Joe Osborne is available for tech support on the phone or by chat. He will post his number in chat. It's good that we are here together again today. Let us enter sacred space.
Good morning. I'm Worship Associate Sue Brinkmeyer, and I'm hoping you all have a chalice or a candle to light, this symbol of our UU faith. Let us light our chalices together.
Come, let us worship as children with wonder and awe. Let us worship as youth with questions and eager hearts. Let us worship as adults with gratitude and praise. Let us worship as elders with wisdom and hope. Come, let us worship together. Each week, this congregation gives away all the money that is donated in our offering to an organization in the larger community or to funds that help people in our own church. We invite you at each service to donate online or to send a check for the cause to the church. You'll see that the church address and the donation link are on the next slide. A live link will also be posted in the chat for you to click on. Our offering today goes to Camp Veneville Pines, and I practically grew up at camp, so I wanted to take this personal opportunity to tell you a little bit about what camp means to me. And I'm going to take it even a step farther. Camp is in financial peril right now. I just talked to Janet, and it looks like we have 3 to 4 months of emergency funds, and we need to raise enough money to keep camp going for the next 12 to 18 months. We don't know when camp will be able to open and host people and families and youth camps again. So I am matching up to $1,000 what UUCV donates this week. This Sunday, dollar for dollar, up to $1,000. If you donate 500, camp will get 1,000. If you pull together 1,000, camp will get $2,000 this Sunday. Please give generously. And I'm going to tell you just a short story about how camp has affected my life and why it's worth you opening your wallets and donating as generously as you possibly can. So I've been going to camp, youth camp, since elementary school. But when camp really started to change and really affect who I am and who I've become was in senior high. So imagine little freshman Tanner, like super scared, has never gone to senior high before. All I heard from middle school camp that like that's where the cool kids go. So I was really nervous. I was like, am I gonna fit in? What's gonna happen? So I walked into the lodge for the first time and everyone looked like they were like 20. You know how when you're like little, everyone looks like they're way older than you? So I walked in the lodge and everyone looked like they were super old. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not going to fit in here. I have like only a few friends and it's just going to be awful. It's going to be the worst experience ever. And as soon as I walked in, one of the deans, that's the youth who are in charge of camp, came right up to me and said, hey, is this your first time at camp? I was like, yes. And she was like, hi, I'm Olivia. I'm one of the deans. It's really nice to meet you. Here, come over. Let's make a name tag together. Olivia like walked me through everything. We registered for camp together, and there was a training going on. At camps, they do trainings for youth so they can become worship leaders, become youth chaplains, become better leaders in general. And there was a spirituality training happening at that camp. And Olivia said, do you want to do the training? I was like, no, why would I do a spirituality training? Like, why would I do that? And she's like, trust me, like, I can already feel it's going to be good for you. So I signed up. I was like, okay. And that's when it started. That's when I really anchored to the faith, became a faith leader. Camp taught me how to be more spiritual. Camp built me a home. Since then, I was on staff for senior high camp. I became the dean. I was in Olivia's place welcoming new people. I went on to be a preacher, to work for churches, all because camp gave me a foundation of leadership and spirituality. I always joke with my parents that I don't get homesick, I get camp sick. Like when I haven't been up there too long, I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to get to camp. I mean, camp is such an important part of my life. I literally have a tattoo with the tree from Craig's cabin and the year that camp was established. As soon as I turned 18, the first thing that I got on my skin forever is a tattoo with camp. I hope that you will give generously as you always do. I hope that you will make me donate $1,000 to camp because it's ready and I want to give it and I want to match your donations. Thank you.
I invite you now into a time of meditation. Take some moments and settle into your sacred center and breathe into a silent meditation. In these difficult times, may we remember the principles that guide us and stand by them. May we remember the inherent worth and dignity of every person, and that every person thrives with justice, equity, and compassion. Though apart, may we stand together to grow and learn and to find our truth and meaning. May we care for our earth that sustains us, and may we strive for peace, liberty, and justice for all. And may those who are ill find healing. May those who are on the front lines be safe. May those who are in war find peace. May those who are without a home find shelter. May all be well. Amen. And may it be so.
Good morning, beloveds. I am so excited to be here with you today. Before I start talking about what I came here to talk about, I want to call a truce. For the next 10 minutes, I'm asking you to set aside everything you believe Unitarian Universalism to be. You will not agree with everything that I say, but just give me a 10-minute truce to tell you about the Unitarian Universalism that I dream of, that I yearn for. The Unitarian Universalism that I will not rest until I build, find, shape, grow, create, or become. A Unitarian Universalism that could be precisely what we say we are and exactly who we say we will be. This is my dream for Unitarian Universalism. We need to go from a me faith to a we faith. And I don't mean a me church to a we church, or a me religion to a we religion. A church is a community and a religion is an institution. I mean a me faith to a we faith. Faith is the complete trust and confidence in someone or something. Faith is trusting our principles. Faith believes that our principles call us to be better people, build a better world, and answer the call of love together. Faith tells us that Unitarian Universalism is a unity that makes us one. Many UUs think that we can change hearts before we change our homes. We think that we can change consciousness before we change congregations. We can't. The change has to start in our homes and in our congregations before we can change the hearts and minds of anyone. We must commit to live more deeply into our faith. We must commit to living more boldly into our values. And we must commit to living more connected to our principles. This is my dream for Unitarian Universalism. We need to truly recognize that all souls are sacred and worthy. There is not a single person that does not deserve the healing, loving, all-encompassing power of our faith. As you know, I work for the largest UU congregation in the world, the Church of the Larger Fellowship. And of our over 3,000 members, half of our members are currently experiencing incarceration. We invite people from both sides of the prison walls into beloved community. We proclaim that all people are worthy of love, respect, support, and justice, not some distant future better version of ourselves, but as we are right now. This is what Unitarian Universalism calls us to do. Not just minister to the saved people, not just minister to the rehabilitated people, not just have compassion for the broken people, but build a community for who we are right now. Unitarian Universalism tells us that we are more than the worst thing we did on the worst day of our life. We are more than our mistakes. We are more than our misfortunes. We are more than the world sees us. Unitarian Universalism tells us that all souls are sacred and worthy. This is my dream for Unitarian Universalism. We need to strive for salvation in this life. Salvation is not something we expect after death, after we've lived the perfect life. Salvation is not something that a higher power is building for us. Salvation is not something that we will dutifully wait for, or even something we should neglect entirely as some religious myth. Salvation is something we build together. Salvation is something we can create. Salvation is when black and brown bodies are loved like white bodies. Salvation is when sick people are healed, when all genders are celebrated, when all people are praised as sacred no matter their mental or physical ability. This salvation is our salvation, and we have everything we need to achieve it. We must begin this salvation in our homes and in our congregations, and then in our hearts and in our minds and in the hearts and minds of everyone around us. This is my dream for Unitarian Universalism. We need to use courageous love to transform the world. And listen closely to what I say here, not just love. Courageous love. A love that is not deterred by fear or danger or pain. An adventurous, daring, fearless love. A brave and heroic love. A love that shows people compassion. A love that shows people acceptance. A love that builds world community and everlasting peace. This love will change the world. This love will break down barriers. This is the love that Unitarian Universalism begs us to use. And this isn't just an easy, lazy, convenient love. This is a love that we do when it is hard, when everything feels broken, when we feel heartbroken. It is immigrant love, refugee love, undocumented love. It is Hindu love, Buddhist love, Christian love. It is Jewish love, Muslim love. It is theist and atheist love. It is gay love and straight love. It is transgender love and queer love. It is a love that loves all genders and no gender at all. It is disabled love and abled love. It is poor love, low income love, food stamps love. It is heartbroken and angry and powerful and strong love. It is courageous love. This is my dream for Unitarian Universalism. This is my dream. We need to amplify that truth continues to be revealed to us. This is the conviction that revelation is continuous. We know more about our faith and our world than we did 2 days ago, and 2 months before that, and 2 years before that. We are always learning and unlearning everything we learn. This is imperative to who we are as UUs. I hear so many white people having a visceral reaction to the defund the police and prison abolition movement. Why? Because the truth we've held so close is that police are here to protect us, white people. Our safety, our well-being, the idea of an orderly society is one where there is police. Instead of using defensiveness as a barricade, let's lean into curiosity. Let's listen to the voices of color around us and look at what is happening in the world. This doesn't mean that as you learn greater truths, you should feel shame for your past. This doesn't even mean that you can't feel confused or nervous about the future. It means that our faith tells us to recognize when something is deeply broken, to realize when we were wrong and build a new way forward. Truth is not sealed. This is the Unitarian Universalism I dream of. This is our time to unite from a me faith to a we faith. We need to truly recognize that all souls are sacred and worthy, not as some future version of ourselves, some better version, but as we are right now. We need to work towards salvation in this life, knowing that our truth, the truth, a truth, is ever unfolding, ever revealing, ever expanding, and is never sealed. We know that there is a courageous love in this world that we can use to transform the hearts and minds, the homes, the congregations, the people, the places, the community, the schools, everything. We can use courageous love to transform everything around us. This is my dream for Unitarian Universalism. This is not a dream we can achieve during the 1 hour we spend together on Sunday mornings. This is a dream we need to live and breathe. This is a dream worth your entire week. You have 168 hours in your week. We are only together for one of them. We need to use the hours that we are not together to build, grow, shape, and create a better Unitarian Universalism, not only for ourselves and our children, not only for our communities, not only because it's the good thing to do, but because the world needs us to. At this time in history, we need Unitarian Universalism. I leave you with a simple question. How will you seize your 167 hours that we are not together to build a better Unitarian Universalism, to build a Unitarian Universalism that your youth and young adults dream of, a Unitarian Universalism that we know we can build together in salvation, in courageous love. Amen. Blessed be.
Now, please join me in extinguishing your chalice at home. As always, we extinguish the chalice, but not the light in our hearts, the warmth of community, or the wisdom and inspiration we gain here together. Those we take into our lives until we gather again.
Thank you, Sue. Today, I've told you about the Unitarian Universalism that I dream of, that I yearn for. A Unitarian Universalism that moves from I to we, from fear to faith, from despair to hope, from perfectionism to wholeheartedness, from defensiveness to curiosity, and from shame to compassion. This can be our Unitarian Universalism. All it takes is seizing the 167 hours that we are not together. 1 hour is not enough. Join me in focusing on faith this week. Go forth in love, go forth in peace, go forth in good health. Amen. Blessed be, and may it be so. It has been a true blessing to be with you this Sunday.
We hope you've enjoyed listening to Connect, Deepen, Act, presented by Outreach Coordinator at the Church of the Larger Fellowship, Tanner Linden, recorded on July 5th, 2020 for the Unitarian Universalist Church of Ventura, California.